reserved and cautious, but still full of love and ready to go home. Mary Jane Benning joins us now to introduce us to this week's Thursday's pet, Jericho.
Yeah, and Jericho's brought along Mark. Jericho has had a pretty traumatic few days.
Yeah.
And this is kind of one of the more difficult shows we have to do because it does highlight a problem we have at the shelter. Jericho's one of our dogs that has been with us for almost a year and has had some very thoughtful adoptive parents who've taken time to get to know him and bring him into his home. But he's been at the shelter so long that he's attached to the shelter staff. And out of respect for him and his emotions today, Mark agreed to stay here on the set with him because he loves our shelter staff. He has been there so long. He ran away on Tuesday from his adoptive home. He has spent 2 days running through downtown Beaumont. Shelter staff has been out for hours till like 1 in the morning looking for him. The Entergy staff has helped us get this dog. Just this morning, one of the shelter staff who lived close to the Energy building showed up, and he came to her because he knew who she was. He has been a frightened boy for a couple of days, and so it really is an issue because we do have to move our animals. We do have favorites. We do have some that we feel like will make great pets, and we keep them a little longer, but then sometimes they have this kind of personality, and they attach themselves to us, which makes them very, very difficult to adopt.
Right.
So we are hoping we can find another forever home for Jericho, probably one with other dogs. He loves the other dogs, might help him adjust to a new family. And he needs an owner who really understands dogs and is very, very patient because he's got some issues now that through, no fault of his own, he's just a tender little spirit and he's had a rough go of it. And so we really do want people to realize that when we move animals through the shelter, we're doing it to give someone else who's very adoptable a chance. And we are still going to do everything we can for him. But it's just a really rough thing that we have to talk about every once in a while.
And sometimes the best thing to do is if you're interested in an animal like Jericho is to come down to the shelter several times before you finalize that adoption.
Yes, and his adoptive family did do that. They brought treats, they spent time with him. We also welcome if you have other pets, you may set up a date to bring your other pets to come and play with them to see how they get along before you bring them home. They did everything right with him. It's just one of those situations, and so we do need to be careful and not be critical of the shelter for trying to move animals through at a little quicker clip because it gets them to their adoptive family, and then they bond with their new owners more quickly.
Well, real quickly, I know we've got a lost pet.
We have a lost pet. We do.
Home.
This is Jasper, missing from Holly Street in North Vidor, a 7-year-old male. He is wearing a collar. He's been missing since Wednesday the 10th, last seen around the Tubal Cain area the same day he was missing.
In Vidor.
In Vidor, yes.
Last seen on the 10th of January.
10th of January, yes.
All right, and a couple of events that we can run through
real
quickly.
fast. January 17th and 31st will be at PetSmart. January 24th is our Party Gras coming up. Great party benefit both Circle of Hope and the Humane Society. This is fun. CrossFit of Beaumont on January 31st is going to have a row marathon. $10 a seat. You can raise money for the animals. And from now until Valentine's Day, please donate to the shelter. We have a very generous donor who will match up to $10,000. So donate to the shelter in honor of those you love, and then we'll have that matching donation and a great, great, great fundraiser for our shelter.
Thanks, Mary Jane. Thanks, Mark. We appreciate it, and hopefully we'll have good news about Jericho.